Ladies and gentlemen, success is not a secret, it's a code. And like any code, once you understand it, apply it, and stay consistent, it begins to unlock doors you once thought were sealed shut. Now, here's what I've learned. Success doesn't show up overnight. It shows up after you've paid the price. It shows up after the early mornings, the late nights, the discipline, the rejections, the learning and the doing. Not just once, but again and again. Some people think success is about luck. But luck, my friends, is just life saying thank you for the seeds you planted last season. If you didn't plant anything, why are you expecting a harvest? Success is also personal. It's not just money in the bank, titles on a card, or followers on a screen. It's waking up with purpose. It's having options. It's being proud of how you got there. And here's the beauty. Success is simple. Not easy, but simple. The code is made up of small disciplines practiced daily. Small hinges swing big doors. Let me give you a truth. If you want more, you must become more. Success is not something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. So work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Read the books. Learn the skills. Guard your attitude. Discipline your habits. Success is a process, not an event. That simple idea is often overlooked in a world obsessed with quick results and overnight fame. We see someone holding a trophy, closing a big deal, or making headlines, and we think, wow, they made it. But what we don't see is the journey that led there, the long hours, the countless setbacks, the inner doubts, and the small, unglamorous steps taken every day. The truth is, success rarely comes with fireworks. It arrives quietly, almost unnoticed, to the person who stayed on the path long after others gave up. Think about nature for a moment. A seed doesn't become a tree overnight. It's planted in the dirt where no one sees it. It breaks open in silence, fights its way through the soil, reaches toward the light, and only after consistent growth does it stand tall. Success works in much the same way. It begins in the invisible. Your thoughts, your routines, your choices. Each day you commit to improvement. Each time you push a little harder. And each time you resist the temptation to quit, you're adding another layer to your foundation. Too often, people get discouraged because they don't see immediate results. They work out for a week and don't see change, so they stop. They try a new business, face rejection, and walk away. What they fail to understand is that results are always delayed. The process always comes before the prize. What you do today may not reward you today, but it will show up later in ways you can't predict. When you treat success like an event, you rush. You chase shortcuts. You compare yourself to others. You become frustrated when the outcome doesn't match the effort right away. But when you treat it as a process, you begin to respect time. You learn patience. You accept that the journey will be filled with learning curves, not just milestones. The process teaches you what the event never can: how to build resilience, how to master your craft, how to stay focused when no one's clapping, and how to develop the character needed to sustain your success once it arrives. This mindset shift from event to process changes everything. It transforms frustration into motivation. It turns obstacles into lessons. It allows you to celebrate progress instead of only outcomes. Every small win, every habit formed, every step taken in the right direction becomes part of your success story. Not one day, not one action, but the sum of them all. In the end, real success isn't just about reaching a goal. It's about who you become in the process of achieving it. And the process, though slow and often unseen, is where all the value is built. That's where discipline, confidence, and wisdom are formed. So, if you don't see the finish line yet, don't worry. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Trust the process. Because success is not something that happens to you. It's something that grows within you, One choice at a success is earned, not stumbled upon. It's not the result of luck, coincidence, or being in the right place at the right time. While those things might open a door or create a moment, lasting success, real success, is the direct outcome of effort, persistence, preparation, and personal discipline. The people we admire for their achievements didn't just wake up one morning to find success waiting for them. They worked for it, struggled through failures, faced discouragement, and kept moving forward when it would have been easier to quit. There's a dangerous myth that success happens by accident, that some people are simply lucky or born with certain advantages that guarantee their rise. But when you look closer, when you really study the stories behind the success, you find a different truth. You see the sacrifices they made, the hours spent in obscurity, the nights they doubted themselves but kept going anyway. What looks effortless from the outside often hides years of unseen discipline. The spotlight might make it look glamorous, but the grind is what built it. Every skill that leads to success must be learned, refined, and tested over time. It takes time to master your craft, to build credibility, to gain trust, and to rise above the noise. The marketplace doesn't reward wishful thinking. It rewards value, and value comes from becoming excellent at what you do. Excellence is earned. You can't fake it, and you can't shortcut it. You have to put in the work, and not just once, but repeatedly, especially when no one is watching. The idea that success is earned also means taking responsibility. No one else can do it for you. No one else can want it more than you. You can be given opportunities, but you still have to step up and deliver. You can be given tools, but you have to learn how to use them. You can even have natural talent, but if you don't develop it through discipline and focus, it won't take you far. The truth is, talent without effort is just potential. Effort turns potential into results. What separates those who achieve success from those who only wish for it is not chance. It's commitment. It's the willingness to keep going when things get hard, to show up when you don't feel like it, and to stay the course when progress is slow. Those who earn success do so by living with intention, by making the tough decisions, and by doing the things others avoid. They choose growth over comfort, discipline over distraction, and persistence over excuses. There's something deeply empowering about knowing that success is earned. It means you have control. It means your actions matter. It means that no matter where you start, you can rise if you're willing to pay the price. The process may be long, the work may be hard, and the results may not come quickly. But the reward is that much sweeter because you know you earned it. Personal growth is the foundation of success. Everything you achieve on the outside is a reflection of who you've become on the inside. The truth is, you can only rise as high as your level of personal development allows. Skills, resources, and connections matter, but none of them will last if you haven't developed the mindset, discipline, and emotional maturity to handle success when it comes. If you want more from life, the first step is to become more focused, more responsible, more disciplined, more resilient. Too often, people chase results without working on themselves. They want a better job, a stronger relationship, more money, or greater respect. But they are not willing to grow into the kind of person who naturally attracts those outcomes. Success is not something you pursue directly. It's something you attract by becoming the person who deserves it. That's why two people can be given the same opportunity, and only one of them thrives, because success meets you at the level of your personal growth. Growth means learning how to think better, act wiser, and respond more effectively. It means developing the habits, attitudes, and character traits that support your goals. It's not just about acquiring knowledge, but applying it. It's not just about being busy, but being intentional. Personal growth teaches you how to lead yourself before trying to lead others, how to manage your emotions under pressure, and how to stay grounded when things go wrong. Every challenge you face is an invitation to grow. Every mistake is a teacher. Every failure is a mirror. The difference between someone who stays stuck and someone who moves forward is how they use those moments. A person committed to personal growth doesn't avoid discomfort. They lean into it, knowing that growth often happens just past the edge of comfort. They see setbacks not as reasons to quit, but as opportunities to improve. And the process of personal growth is ongoing. You never arrive, you just evolve. The version of you that was enough for your last level of success might not be ready for the next one. That's why growth is not optional if you want to keep expanding your life. You constantly upgrade your thoughts, your habits, your environment, and your standards. You let go of old patterns and replace them with new disciplines. You stretch yourself, not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. This growth doesn't just impact your career or goals. It transforms every area of your life. It affects your relationships, your confidence, your decision making, and your peace of mind. When you grow as a person, you don't just change what you can do. You change who you are. And that identity shift is what opens new doors and creates lasting success. Because in the end, success isn't something you chase. It's something you become ready for. And the only way to become ready is to grow. Early habits shape destiny, not the big once in a while decisions, but the small actions repeated every single day. These are the quiet, consistent choices that most people overlook. What time you wake up, what you read, how you speak to yourself, how you treat your time, and what you prioritize. Over time, these little decisions form the structure of your life. They either push you closer to your goals or quietly pull you further away. Most people are searching for breakthroughs, not realizing their future is already being formed in their daily routines. Success doesn't happen in a single moment. It's a byproduct of the habits you commit to. If your habits are aligned with your goals, progress becomes inevitable. If your habits are random, so are your results. It's not about perfection, but about consistency. You don't need to take massive action once in a while. You need to take meaningful action every day. Brushing your teeth once a week doesn't work, and neither does working on your dreams only when you feel inspired. It's the daily repetition, the discipline of showing up whether you feel like it or not, that separates success from wishful thinking. Habits are powerful because they run beneath the surface. Once something becomes a habit, it no longer requires as much energy or motivation. It becomes automatic. This is good news if your habits are positive and goal-driven, but it's dangerous if they're destructive or careless. The challenge is that most habits are formed unconsciously. We repeat what feels easy or familiar, even if it works against us. That's why intentionality matters. If you want a different future, you must become aware of your current habits and take control of them. Every habit is a vote for the person you are becoming. Waking up early is a vote for discipline. Reading daily is a vote for growth. Keeping your promises is a vote for integrity. Skipping your priorities is also a vote for delay, for regret, for staying where you are. Over time, these votes accumulate, and eventually, they decide your direction. You may not see the result right away, but just like water shaping stone, habits leave a mark over time. The life you're living today is, in many ways, a reflection of the habits you started years ago. The key is to build systems that support who you want to become. Create routines that make it easier to do the right thing. Remove distractions that make the wrong thing tempting. Success becomes less about motivation and more about environment and discipline. It's about designing your life in a way that makes success the natural outcome, not the constant struggle. Habits turn goals into reality, not all at once, but little by little, until one day you look up and realize how far you've come. That's the power of daily habits. They don't just change your schedule. They change your identity, your future, and ultimately, your destiny. Success must be defined personally. Too often, People chase a version of success that was handed to them by someone else, society, family, peers, or the media. They pursue careers they don't love, chase money they don't need, or seek validation from people who don't understand their values. They check boxes, climb ladders, and follow scripts, only to reach the top and feel empty, confused, or unfulfilled. That's because true success cannot be borrowed or copied. It must be discovered and defined from within. The danger in accepting someone else's definition of success is that it puts you on a path that might not match your strengths, your passions, or your vision for your life. It causes you to compare constantly, always measuring yourself against someone else's timeline or accomplishments. But the truth is, comparison is the enemy of fulfillment. What looks like success for one person could be stress, pressure, or emptiness for another. That's why defining success on your own terms is not a luxury, it's a necessity. Success might mean financial independence to one person and peace of mind to another. It might mean building a business for some and raising a healthy family for others. It could be about impact, freedom, creativity, service, or learning. There's no single right answer, and that's the point. The only wrong answer is living someone else's definition while ignoring your own. When you define success personally, you reclaim your power. You stop chasing and start choosing. You stop performing and start living with intention. The process of defining success requires deep reflection and honest self-awareness. It means asking hard questions. What do I truly value? What brings me fulfillment? What kind of life do I want to live? Who am I becoming in the process of achieving my goals? These questions don't always have easy answers, and the answers may change over time. But asking them keeps you grounded in a life that actually matters to you, not just one that looks good on the outside. Defining success for yourself also frees you from guilt. You no longer feel bad for walking a different path. You don't need to explain your choices to people who don't share your vision. When your success is rooted in your values, your work becomes more meaningful, your goals more focused, and your life more aligned. You move with clarity, and that clarity brings peace. You're not racing anyone because you've already won by staying true to yourself. Ultimately, defining success personally is about living in integrity with who you are. It's about creating a life that reflects your principles, your priorities, and your potential. It's a commitment to designing, not defaulting, to building, not blindly following. When you live by your own definition of success, you experience not just achievement, but fulfillment, and that is a kind of you attract success by who you become. Success is not something you chase, it's something that responds to the kind of person you are. The world doesn't give you what you want just because you ask for it. It gives you what you're prepared for, what you've worked for, and most importantly, what you've grown into. If you want more, you have to become more. Not just in terms of skills, but in mindset, discipline, character, and responsibility. The outer rewards of life are always tied to the inner person you develop along the way. Many people try to force success, to push their way into opportunities they haven't earned yet. And when it doesn't work, they get frustrated. But success is less about force and more about alignment. When your values, habits, and goals are in alignment, the right opportunities start to gravitate toward you. People want to work with you, trust you, invest in you, not because you demanded it, but because you've become the type of person who creates value, keeps their word, and consistently delivers results. The foundation of attracting success is self-awareness. You have to know where you are, where you're going, and what's missing in between. That might mean developing new habits, learning better communication, improving your attitude, or simply learning how to follow through on what you say you're going to do. The smallest personal shifts, waking up earlier, being more intentional with your time, practicing gratitude, becoming more dependable, can lead to massive results over time because they build your identity. An identity is what drives behavior, which ultimately shapes outcomes. You don't attract success just by being busy or talking about your goals. You attract it by becoming a person of value. That means solving problems, thinking long-term, showing up consistently, and treating others with respect. It means doing the hard things when no one is watching. It means becoming the kind of person who others want to follow, support, and build with. People are drawn to strength, clarity, and integrity, and these qualities aren't inherited, they're built. This principle also applies to every area of life: your relationships, your career, your health, and your finances. If you want a great relationship, become a great partner. If you want career advancement, become someone who leads, solves, and inspires. If you want to be trusted with more, become someone who is reliable with less. You attract at your level, not at the level you wish you were, but at the level you are. And the good news is, you can raise that level through consistent, focused growth. Success is not about impressing others. It's about improving yourself. It's not about shortcuts or hacks, it's about transformation. As you grow, your environment starts to change with you. New people enter your life, new doors open, new opportunities appear. But they don't come because you begged for them. They come because you've earned them, because you've become someone who no longer needs to chase success. Success is drawn to you because of who you are.